That's a good fish.
That is a good fish, mate. Yeah, this is a good one.
Jigging over here, Uncle Mark. He's on front. Oh, he's taking some line. Oh, that's another good fish. Well, as you can see, this video is full of action and some truly epic fish. I'm out with my Uncle Mark and my cousin Alex, and we're dropping down a mixture of slow pitch jigs as well as some big baits, and luckily for us, we hooked into some amazing fish. There were a couple very cool species thrown into the mix as well. So strap in for some big fish action, a few tips, and a red hot afternoon session that had our excitement levels through the roof. But let's start from the beginning. As you can see, we were met with some very average weather, which made it hard to fish. We'd actually planned to head out off Rainbow Beach in search of these guys, the mighty Red Emperor. Since the weather was worse than expected, we decided to stay a bit closer to home and just fish off the Sunshine Coast instead. The first drop of the day in about 30 metres of water, Alex hooked a solid fish on the jig, which got sharked straight away. Sadly, this would be a problem all day long. Oh, shit. Popped him? Yep. While the bait was defrosting, I also used a slow pitch jig on some good looking shows. It didn't take long to hook a solid fish, and I could tell pretty quickly that it was a pelagic of some sort.
Really going? Hey! Oh, got a chasing. What is it? It's going. Yeah.
Well, that's why it hadn't bit me off. It was just a stinky old Mac tuna. There you go, on the jig, tail wrap. This was going to be some great flesh bait for us throughout the day. I decided it was time to mix things up with some bait. As you can see, I've got a nice strip of that tuna on a couple of 6-0 hooks with a fairly hefty ball sinker running down onto the rig. Now remember, I was geared up to chase Red Emperor, so this was the only setup that I took. A PE 2 to 4 rod spooled up with 40-pound braid and 60-pound leader, which is twice as heavy as what I'd usually use on the reefs off the Sunshine Coast. But as you'll see, I ended up needing every bit of power from this rod throughout the day. Even this first fish had taken me under a ledge. Now luckily, with a bit of help from this heavier setup, I managed to pull that fish out of the reef. I actually thought that I was winding up a chunk of the reef, but I couldn't believe my eyes when this came up from the depths. You would not read about it, guys. I just got a little bit of a bite and it went under the reef. And I pulled it out and I thought I had a bit of the reef with me. You would not read about it. Little coral trout. And also a little tomato cod thing, but that is pretty dang cool. I just did an article for Fish and Boat magazine about how there's more coral trout showing up on the Sunshine Coast and in South East Queensland, and that is my first. There you go. This coral trout came in at just over 40 centimetres, nowhere near as big as my brother Matt's monster trout, which he caught in a similar area to this. But I'm still stoked with it and was happy to have a couple of tasty fillets in the esky. My Uncle Mark switched over to bait and landed himself a coral cod. Oh, coral cod. These are very similar to coral trout and often get mistaken. However, these have a rounded tail, whereas trout have a slight fork in their tail. Well done. That was the only action we had in close, so we moved out a little bit wider into 40 metres of water. And it didn't take long for the Mac tuna to get another bite. Oh, that's another good fish. There you go. That's not too bad.
Good.
Hit alright anyway, it's given up now. Who knows? Hey, the big... Oh, sharks. Oh, it was just there too. Bugger. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe a grassy. Oh!
I've caught some good grassies here, like
Yeah.
4 or 5 kilo models.
Oh! It never gets less frustrating when you get sharked. We kept searching around this patch of reef to find some better shows of fish and bait. After getting sharked earlier, I cranked my drag up nice and tight, ready to race them, but even that couldn't stop this from happening. That's a good fish.
That is a good fish, mate.
It's got me in the bottom.
No, that
Oh,
did then.
that was a good fish. Back to the... I just re-rigged and it lasted 10 seconds. I quickly re-tied and this was the very next drop. This is not going to end well. I have a feeling it's time to move. Although, it's coming now. Bit us off, I think. Yeah, I think it bit us off. Or pulled the hooks. I still got weight. I don't know. I thought that was a shark at first, but after I wound back up and checked my bait, I wasn't so sure. Nah, just pulled hooks.
Is there any holes in the skin?
Nah.
Who knows?
Strange one.
Bugger.
We also got a fair few of these undersized red emperor, and this one was actually getting up there towards legal, but sadly there were no bigger ones mixed in with them. Alex was persisting with the jigs and only coming up with small bits and pieces, but don't you worry, the jigs started absolutely slaying some awesome fish later in the day. Meanwhile, I landed this while drifting through the good show of bait that we'd found. Just on that strip of mac tuna from earlier. Nice grassy. I thought I had the camera on, but I turned it off. We've re-rigged about 6 times between us all from sharks and getting done in the reef and stuff. So anyway, a couple more of those would be nice. At this stage it was 11:30 AM, so we'd been fishing for several hours now without much success. Something that changed Alex's luck big time was putting out a live bait. He caught one of these things on his jig, an ornate threadfin brim. He floated it down with a light ball stinker and he actually left it in the rod holder while he untangled some line off the propeller. And suddenly it cranked over big time. Alex, you're on, that's a good fish. On the livey. Yep. That's a big fish. Or a shark. Oh, it is only 20 pounds.
I'll give you some credit, I think it's 15 kilos.
Good luck. You're getting a bit. So Alex just put a livey out, just a little ornate jobfish thing, while we were sorting something else out, and it just got absolutely smashed. Took off. Thought it might be a shark, but he's really bringing it up now, so we don't know. Could either be Alex is called the biggest snapper in history, or it could also be a cobia, amberjack, anything. So we'll see.
Moving up, here he comes. Big snap.
It is too. Do you want the net or gaff?
No, alright. Oh, just lift him in.
Oh.
No, don't go. Just lift him.
I'll get the net if you want. Oh, that's a cracker! Oh!
The old limey, eh? A livey job. Something had to change today.
Cracker. That is an absolute beauty. You're kidding me.
Nice fish.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he go hard at the start?
Oh, well, whenever you call it for a shark and it ends up being a snapper.
Yeah.
That is a beauty.
On the old mono.
Yeah. Old school.
Yeah.
That fish went 87 centimetres and Alex decided to release it.
Oh, he'll go.
When they get bigger, they can become a little bit dry and tough. This ended up being good karma for later in the day though. Since I knew there were big snapper around, I pinched my braid between my fingers, as you can see here, to try and slow the descent of my bait down when we went up for the next drift. I'm looking at the school of bait and fish getting even thicker on the sounder here, and I was anticipating a bite at any moment. Stop bragging about my trout now after that one.
Oh no.
That's a cracking snapper.
There we go. That's a snapper too. That's a big one. They're schooling up, boys. What happens when you let one go? Stay up. Still on the mark? Yeah. Oh, jeez. That is a big fish. Yeah, that's too big. Hey, Alex, is that camera facing me? No idea, mate. Yeah, it is, mate. Make sure it's facing well. Oh, you didn't, did you? Oh, no. He was on too. He was going. Yeah. Big fish. Yeah, it's going to be a crack. Yeah, I'll grab it. I think it's going to be a real donkey. Oh, I think it is a snap. It's going like one. It's a big fish. Sharked. Oh, it's got to be on here.
Yeah. Oh, there's got some good snappers down there at the moment. Now, I was wondering why we'd suddenly had all this hectic snapper action in the middle of the day, out of nowhere, after not even seeing one all morning. So I quickly grabbed out my phone to have a quick check of the tides, and sure enough, we were basically right in the middle of a tide change. A great bite time for snapper, especially up on the Sunshine Coast. This just goes to show how important it is to take note of these bite times for the type of fish that you're chasing. There you go, that one's just under, tiny little one. I'm gonna chuck him back, but it just goes to show we've got a tide change about lunchtime, or about now. And in the last half an hour, those big snapper have hit us. Alex got a big one, Uncle Mark and I lost two, and then this one. We hadn't seen a snapper all morning, and with that tide change, they come on. Interesting stuff to note. The snapper shut down again pretty quickly, but my uncle ended up landing one nice reef fish around that show of bait before we moved on. I think that'll be alright up front. Not giant, but yeah. Oh, it's a good sweetie. It's a jack. It was very red, wasn't it? It was. Oh, beautiful. Blue line emperor. Running squid lip. Very nice, Uncle Mark. Took a bit of persistence. We got another one. Yeah, very nice. Well done. Alright guys, I'm just going to interrupt for 10 seconds to remind you, you can get 15% off all Salty Captain products on their website that aren't already discounted by using my code WILLK15. I'll put it on the screen here for you. Make sure you write it down and save yourself some money. These products are unbelievable, and if you use my code, I get a small kickback too, which I put straight back into these videos. So, write that down, check out their website, look at all their products, but for now, let's get back into the video. So believe it or not guys, this is the best that the conditions have been all day. So it's always harder with a fair bit of wind, especially when you're trying to bottom bash or float down a bit lighter for your snapper, but today we were mainly trying to fish closer to the bottom. So what we've been doing, you might have seen, we've had the motor in gear a lot of the time, especially if we're fishing smaller shows, just trying to hold the boat on it. Now we're doing some longer drifts over a larger area. There's some really good shows all the way through here. So we've put the sea anchor or parachute out to just try and slow the drift down. So it's been tough. It always makes it tough, but that's what we've been doing, and persistence paid off as well. Obviously that big snapper, we'd had a lot of issues before that with sharks, getting reefed, lots of bad luck, but persistence paid off. Alex decided to put down a big livey and it got smashed, so persistence pays. Right, the decision's been made. We're going to head out a little bit wider, I think to about 60, 70 metres. Try and get a pearly or maybe even a big snapper again to finish the afternoon off. So fingers crossed. We've been fishing in close all day. It's been tough. We've persisted and got a couple of good fish, but overall been very tough. So fingers crossed out here, the fish are on the tube. So these guys have a transducer that can read at very high speed, similar to your through hole ones. Well, they do have a through hole, but they also have one on the back on the transom, and they can both read at speed. So the amount of new little spots that we've found today, cruising between spots, and you just run over a little spike of bait or a little bump on the bottom, and you can turn around then at slow speeds and go check it out, is amazing. If you're doing this sort of fishing all the time, or if you're heading up to the reef and stuff, very, very, very handy for finding new spots and fish as you're traveling. Just turning around on one now. We're almost out wide, we're in about 60 meters at the moment. So we'll see what this one holds. Now that lump that we'd driven across was covered in fish and life, and they ended up being pearl perch, exactly what we'd gone out wide looking for. Right from the first drop, this new spot was on fire. I started off by dropping baits down on this bad boy, and the other two were jigging with 60 to 80 gram slow pitch jigs.
It's almost like they've got a big bucket mouth.
Yeah. Oh, look at the sounder.
Yeah.
So the sound is lit up now, guys. I'll try and get a photo at some stage for you, but
Marks on that.
But Alex just got an undersized one on the jig, and I've hooked a quite decent one here on the drop, just feathering my bait down. Feels decent anyway. We'll see how big it is when it comes up. Got some weight.
There you go, close, wouldn't he? Surely.
I think it should be legal, yeah.
Surely.
3 spool, there we go. I'll do a bit of a hold up in a minute, but hopefully Alex can get one on the jig. A bit bigger anyway. Thanks, Uncle Mark. There you go, not a bad one, not a monster, but we'll take it today. We have struggled with the weather and sharks and all sorts of stuff, so it's good to get anything for a bit of a feed. And these are one of the tastiest fish in the ocean, in my opinion. They're right up there with coral trout, which luckily we also have in the esky today, but they are beautiful. Here in South East Queensland, one of the best you can get. That big bucket mouth is why they come up feeling heavy, and also why they can inhale the jig or your bait with ease. Good fun. Well, I was just turning the camera back on, guys, and as I did, I put my rod in the holder for 1 second and it cranked over. This one feels maybe even a little bit better than the last, possibly. Oh. Yeah, this is a good one. Now, when you're fighting pearlies, it pays to be really steady and not jerk your rod around too much, because you can rip a hole in their mouth really easy. So you want to just keep it nice and steady if you can. Otherwise you'll pull the hooks on a lot of them. You can see now it's sort of given up a bit. Just a dead weight with that mouth open. And Hopefully it's another nice one.
Oh! It's a cracker, mate.
Oh!
Well done.
I knew that one would be better.
Well done.
Went really hard near the bottom. You should go wash those hooks. Yeah. You put him on the floor, I'll sort him out. You do your thing.
Sweet.
Cheers. Oh, that's a cracker.
It is a nice, really nice. Well done.
That's a cracker, guys. I'll just give it a quick measure. I reckon it'd be about 50. 51 centimetres, that one. As you saw, for a fish that ends up being a bucket mouth and coming up as dead weight almost, that went really hard near the bottom. And they absolutely inhale your baits. Took ages to get that hook out just then. That's why we can get a couple more. We're getting a hit or two every drift, so they're on the chew coming into the early afternoon or mid-afternoon. Fingers crossed we can put a nice feed together. So jigging over here, Uncle Mark. He's on one. Oh, he's taking some line. Alex has got a really nice one by the looks of it, or a decent one. Took some line. Hopefully Uncle Mark's got a legal one here too. That's next drop after that last one. Beauty. We'll see when they get to the surface. There we go. We had just a bit of hectic chaos trying to land them there with the net and that, but two crackers came up at the same time. Well done, guys.
Good.
Very nice. Alex has just fell off the jig as it got in. Alex is onto a good one again over in the background. I'm down there. Good one, Alex?
Oh, yeah. Not massive, right? Well, wait, they hit him on the drop that first one. The line just went flat.
Yeah.
Got one, Will?
Yep.
Well done.
Doesn't feel massive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one, Alex?
Yeah, he's a nice one. Yep, he's a cracker. He's a crab.
Come around and show the camera when you get a chance, Alex. Nice one on the jig. Mine will be decent again too. I'll put down a bit of squid this time, guys. I'll put a pilly down last drift. Problem is if a picker gets to it first, it's gone. They're so soft. So I'll put on a squid because they're a bit tougher. Flesh baits are also good. So that one.
Very nice.
Good on ya. Alright. Oh, you're going to risk it.
Yeah.
There's mine. It'll be legal. Not as big as Alex's last couple, but putting together a nice feed. They could go off at any minute, these things, so it's good to get them while we can. Alex just dropped one, Uncle Mark just dropped a good one. I've hooked another one on the squid. Oh, pulled him.
Oh no!
No, I jinxed it. Should have turned the camera off.
That's the end of this.
Oh no. Hopefully they don't shut down now, that can be the problem. Bugger. Well, they're not shutting down. Oh, they're getting bigger. Oh, that's a good fish, Uncle Mark. Got some weight behind him, Uncle Mark.
Yeah,
Should I touch the net?
no. Yeah, touch the net. You watch this one pop out.
Oh,
Oh, it's a big tusky. Big tusky.
hook tusky.
Still a nice tusky.
Still
Nice stuff. Yeah.
I thought for sure that was going to be a nice big curly.
Yeah.
Invader.
Tricked it. I'm going to try and get a strike on camera for you because I actually hit pretty hard down to the bottom. Alex is on already, straight away when he dropped his jig down. See how I go with a bit of squid.
Yeah, that's not much.
On the drop.
Got him well?
Yeah, it's not very big. Dragged him off. Yeah, I did.
Oh, you didn't? No, no.
Here we go.
Might make it. He's a fat little one, but. Well, that's a good one.
Might be alright. It's not a monster. What do you got over there, Alex?
Shrunk.
Uncle Mark's on.
I'll let him go. Yeah, you're on.
It's hard to know, eh? You might have a tusky as well, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, my rod stuck. Oh, just free spool.
Nice tusk.
2 tuskies in a row.
Oh.
Now, after fishing all day, my camera battery sadly died, but here are some photos of the last few fish which finished off our bag limit. I tied on a mustard wingman jig and had a bit of fun with that before it got taken by a shark just underneath the boat, along with a nice pearly. Uncle Mark got a couple of crackers on his last 2 drops as well, and he landed this one while I was hooked up to the shark. What an amazing fish and what an amazing session. Now, one thing that was eye-opening to me was the difference in jigging techniques. So I was simply using just a slow lift and drop right near the bottom, and that was working really well. But the other two were sort of being more aggressive and more erratic with their jigs and working that jig up through the water column. And I was surprised to see the pearlies really chasing it down and absolutely smashing it, even a fair way off the bottom. And I think sometimes those bigger fish, like snapper, those bigger pearlies can sit a little bit higher off the bottom when they're in feeding mode. So that was really interesting, and I'm definitely keen to get onto another school of pearlies and give it a try. The other thing is pearl perch are a lot more aggressive than people realise, and when they're in a school feeding like that, they are competing. They will race over and try and beat each other to your jig or bait. Alrighty, it's the next morning. We've got a bit of filleting to do, luckily. The start of the morning, I thought we were going to be having a nice breakfast this morning, relaxing, not much filleting to do, but that chaos at the end really filled the esky for us, which was good. So we just had a nice chat to one of the locals, Greg, who came to say good day. So thanks for coming and introducing yourself, mate, if you're watching. We're going to get through these pearlies. I might give you a look at this trout again, because that's pretty interesting for the Sunshine Coast. Now obviously you saw the photos of those big pearlies too. It is hard to beat. We were even saying last night, the pearlies are possibly even better than the trout to eat. They got a bit more sweet flavour. Controversial opinion, but either way, if they are or not, they're beautiful. So we're very happy to have, we end up with 12 of those. Absolute crackers too. So we're going to finish this filleting and I'll show you a couple of the fish. Alright, that's the biggest pearly. I'll also give you a look at the some of the meat here in a minute and just show you how beautiful it is. It's almost translucent when you take the skin off.
There you go,
Oh
mate.
yeah.
He's a nice pearly.
Yeah.
Can't ask for much better than that round here.
Good. Yeah, outside or?
Yeah, this is yesterday morning, or yesterday arvo we found these.
Oh, right.
But she was a bit nautical out there yesterday morning, I tell you. Yeah. So, should have gone again this morning though, looking at it out there now.
It'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
Well, pelicans, they're waiting for this, yeah?
Yeah, they've had a good feed.
They know where to be on a
They don't miss much.
morning. So there is the meat, guys, off the decent one. Beautiful, white, no blood. And even on the back there, you'll see you barely have a bloodline. So on snapper, that'll be really red. And I actually don't like eating it as much as the rest of the fillet at all. With the pearlies, you can just eat the whole fillet, no worries, you don't even taste it. And there is the grassy sweet lip. Beautiful and white. Delicious. Here's one more look at my first ever coral trout. Not a monster, but it really is awesome to see more of these guys showing up further south. Alright guys, well that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. There was plenty of cool action in that one, from the coral trout and undersized red emperor popping up, the big snapper, sadly a lot of shark action, a few tasty grassies, and of course that hot pearly session at the end on baits and jigs. Super fun, and we got a really nice feed in the end, even though the conditions were pretty trying for the first half of the day. We landed some good fish, we lost some big fish, but they'll be there for next time. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below, guys. I'll answer every single comment under the video. If you did enjoy, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos, and leave a like rating as well. It helps me out more than you can imagine. Lastly, just a reminder that you can use that Salty Captain discount code for 15% off, as I said earlier in the video. So get onto that, save yourself some money. They have plenty of great products for all sorts of vehicles, so get onto that. Until next time guys, tight lines and happy fishing. I hope you enjoy your time on the water, and stay tuned for some more reef fishing videos in the near future.